I understand firsthand the process of getting back on track. Not long ago, I was in the same position as most of you. Throughout my time at Woodrow Wilson High School, I didn't value my education, and most of the time I didn't go to school. My senior year, I had 63 unexcused absences coupled with a 1.1 GPA on my transcript. I was not supposed to graduate, but the faculty and staff at Woodrow Wilson High School took a chance on me by believing that I could get back on track. And to my credit, I tried to prove them right. A year after graduating from Woodrow Wilson High School, I registered for Camden County College. I didn't have a plan and didn't really know what I wanted to do. That experience didn't last long. Typically, when you plan to fail, or when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So I reverted back to my old habits while I was at Camden County College. Missing classes, and when I did show up, I wasn't really focused. I dropped out. That was the easy thing to do. 6 months after dropping out of Camden County College, I was incarcerated at the Camden County Jail for 5 felony offenses. Now, if I stop the story here, it would be hard for any of you to imagine that this same individual will go on to graduate from an Ivy League college at the University of Pennsylvania and work at the White House under the first Black president. I couldn't imagine that. I had to learn something throughout my journey and on this process, that failure is not permanent, and no one is exempt from failure. For example, how many people in here know who Bobby Rush is? And if you do know who Bobby Rush is, do you often think of him when you think of Barack Obama? Probably not. But at one point in time, in the year 2000, Bobby Rush defeated Barack Obama in the Illinois race for congressman. Fast forward 8 years later, Barack Obama was elected as the first Black president of the United States of America. We all know the story about Michael Jordan getting cut from his high school basketball team and going on to become the best player in the world. Or how Steve Jobs was fired from Apple to only come back and transform the company as we know it today. As I'm quite sure most of you have an iPhone in here right now. And I learned that winners don't allow failure to dictate their future or define them. So I made a decision. After I was released from Camden County Jail in February 2009, I decided that I was going to think and believe like a success. And as my mindset changed, I began to become confident in myself, and I registered for Camden County College for a second time. I had a renewed focus. And my new train of thought made me behave like a successful person. I developed a stronger relationship with God. I studied longer. I joined study groups. I sought mentorship, and I asked for help. And throughout this time, I began to develop positive habits. Habits of being on time, being respectful, and valuing myself and valuing my education. Now, when I was at Camden County College, I still didn't believe the things that were going to take place in my life. No one could have predicted that. Most of my Camden County peers were dropping out of college and doing the same things I did when I first registered. You see, I want you to know and understand how important it is to watch your thoughts. Your thoughts have power. It is true that where the mind goes, the body will follow. So I urge you to practice positive thinking consistently. And on your journey, it's going to get difficult. As you all sit here today in your new roles of leadership, I want you to understand that you have to make a responsibility and an affirmation to take control and take responsibility for the person you are today. You are no longer the person you was last week. I read some of your bios about getting in trouble at school. not showing up, on the verge of dropout. That's not who you are anymore. I understand the environment that we grow up in. It exposes us to crime and poverty and afflicts us with physical, emotional, spiritual, and psychological trauma. All of our struggles are different, but I understand them very well. But this environment doesn't have to dictate how far you go in life. Now, never forget where you come from. Never forget where you come from. Always come back and always give back. But understand that this is not the end for you. And on your journey, you will be around people who don't think like you, who don't look like you, who might not understand the childhood that you had to endure. And in these uncomfortable situations, it will become easier for you to revert back to your old habits in an attempt to find a comfort zone. But you owe it to the new you that you are today to remain curious and continue to grow. True growth can only be achieved if you are constantly outside of your comfort zone. So make a commitment today to accept who you are right now. You're going to lose friends, and some people may not acknowledge that you truly have changed. Don't allow other people's opinions become your reality. Don't allow other people's limited beliefs to limit yours. If I had done that, I probably would have graduated from Camden County College and stopped there. But I kept believing that something was bigger out there, and I kept chasing it. And I was rewarded with the opportunity of a lifetime. And I didn't do it just for me. I thought about my family, my friends, and my community. I thought about coming back in front of crowds of youth and giving my testimony to inspire other people and know that you guys can go farther than me. The only way to unlock the unlimited potential that's inside of all of you is to understand that you can truly be whatever you want to be and commit to being a good person and a positive person, making right decisions. As Martin Luther King Jr. once said, almost always, the creative, dedicated minority has made the world better. So it's going to take the youth in this room to transform their lives to make this world a better place and also to make Camden a better place. But you have to believe that. And the greatest comeback stories are achieved by those who have faith, work hard, and remain humble. So go change the world because the world needs you. It's going to start with the people in this room, with the youth who had to get back on track, who had to understand what it feels like to fail, who had to understand what it feels like to not be recognized, to not be number one. Don't let that deter you or discourage you. Let it encourage you because you're the change that we need.